we'll just really quickly touch on Australia is introducing 2 new Bitcoin ETFs this week. Or last week.
It has, yeah. And one Ethereum ETF.
Yes, the Ethereum ETF I don't think has launched yet.
Okay, I might be, yeah.
I'm not sure, but the Bitcoin ETF, I actually looked a little bit into it. It looks like it's actually just on the Australian Stock Exchange, but it links to like an American Stock Exchange Bitcoin ETF and stuff like that.
Yep.
But do you think this is signaling more regulation and move forwards in the crypto space, at least in Australia?
Well, yeah. I'll say definitely in Australia. I feel like Australia's already presented itself as like one of the, no, I won't say leading, but it's very progressive in the crypto space. So I think it's a massive thing. It's a bit unfortunate that it launched just as the bear market was hitting and everything was crashing. I think, again, people like us who are more aware of the space, we're not going to go to an ETF. We're just going to go directly to it. I think it's, again, the average person that doesn't know how to get a C phrase or they're not interested in that, but they want to get exposed to it. They'd be looking at ETFs and seeing this volatility for those people, I think is a little bit scary. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a really good thing to happen. And I'm really curious to see, because it seems like America is lagging behind. And I don't know why that is, because America is generally pretty progressive with like free market capitalism, all of these things. So it kind of trips me out. And obviously we know America is one of the biggest capital markets in the world. So if they, like, I don't know how much of a dent an Australian Bitcoin ETF is going to have. But I think once America does that, that's going to be a big signal right there. What are your thoughts on that, Kyle?
Yeah, I think that hopefully with this ETFs happening, I think there's actually been a lot of good news in the space in the last week, like the Australian ETFs. I think Shanghai even legalized, and then you had South Korea, like literally, I think it was the president or I think equivalent to a president in South Korea signal full support for crypto. He's very bullish on crypto. And he said by 2024, he wants to have like the industrialized crypto nation or something like that. So in terms of that happening, the US is going to definitely like try to speed up the innovation side because they don't want to get left behind. And that's going to encourage the older regulators to hopefully step up and do their jobs. And I think that's what with America, I think we suffer from maybe like some of that mentality of having maybe people that are a little out of touch with what crypto is and the possibilities there and the innovation that, can happen. Like, the basis or like an easy way to look at, like, for instance, NFTs is like collectibles. Like now you can own them digitally. I don't have to have this shelf. Like it's full. I can't have any more on there. But on my phone, however, I can have as many collectibles as I want. So that also reduces energy costs. It reduces pollution. And despite modern belief that, all blockchains are bad and destroying trees. So I think when politicians like actually do their job, I think that'll be a bullish time, and hopefully America will do that soon and realize that. I think they are. I think they're just trying to figure out ways to regulate it in an efficient way. And that does take time, unfortunately. And America has been slow in recent times in terms of, legalizing things or I guess putting a stamp of approval on it, if you will.
Yeah.
I just wanted to quickly touch on what TSG said about us buying Bitcoin instead of using a Bitcoin ETF. Stocks have a different set of advantages to them. The biggest one I can think of is something like my superannuation. Now, for those of you that don't live in Australia, a superannuation is like the America's 401k or whatever that is, the retirement fund thing. I would love to try and set up like a self-managed fund of some kind where my super that the employers pay and stuff like that actually just goes into a Bitcoin ETF. I can't actually allocate that to crypto. The government probably won't let me or whatever, but they'll let me allocate it to stocks. That's the point. Maybe I can allocate it to the Bitcoin ETF, which is kind of like a nice little workaround.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's the future honestly, right there.
Look into that. That's actually a really, really interesting thing. Yeah.
Well, I think that even more so on that, I see retirement funds, as you say, whatever it's called in each country, 401k, super annual. What was it? A superannuation. Superannuation. So, yeah, I think that they will have that more automated, like with retirement funds in America, like they do the investing for you. You just comes out of your paycheck, and then they have some kind of fund manager, or nowadays it's algorithmically decided based on, logic or whatever.
And your risk tolerance.
Exactly. And they might put a sliver of your funds in a quote unquote risky or aggressive,
aggressive, that's the way.
Yeah, exactly. And that could be literally crypto. And so people won't have any idea that that's where some of their money is going to in the future. That's just going to be the standard. Whether people like it or not, you're going to indirectly invest into crypto via 401k, Roth IRA, superannualization. I've said that wrong, but I'm going with it.
But now, I think that's what the like a lot of the crypto people, like when they talk about, when we capture this amount of capital, when we capture this amount of the market share, I think that's exactly what they mean. It's like the people that don't even know they're going to be investing in it. Once those people and that capital starts to come in, that's when it's like, that's when we really take off. That's when this crypto thing really, really starts to pop up, because we are still so early, man. It's so unbelievable to say that. But man, we are still so early in that.